That is alignment. That is what the world mislabels as luck. When you walk in alignment, your steps are guided, not by external forces, but by the quiet power of your own assumption. There is a spiritual current running beneath the surface of all things, and when you come into harmony with it, you are carried not by struggle, but by flow. You meet the right people at the right time. You receive unexpected news that opens new doors. You find yourself in places that seem too perfect to be planned, and the outside world watches and says how lucky they are. But the truth is, you are not lucky. You are aligned. This alignment begins in the invisible realm of your own consciousness. It begins when you stop doubting that you are worthy of good, when you stop resisting your own desires, when you stop asking if it will happen and begin to live as though it already has. When your emotions, your self-talk, your imagination, and your expectations all move in the same direction, you become unstoppable. You no longer contradict yourself. You are no longer asking for one thing while expecting another. Your entire being becomes a single yes, a single affirmation of the life you choose to live. And when that happens, you draw that life to you with a force more powerful than effort, because belief works faster than effort. But this kind of alignment requires discipline, not physical discipline, but spiritual discipline. You must train yourself to remain in the state of the wish fulfilled, even when appearances suggest otherwise. You must choose to feel lucky before there is evidence. You must walk with your head high when your circumstances still look low. You must give thanks for blessings that haven't yet arrived in the physical, knowing that they already exist in the unseen. This is not delusion. This is creation. For everything that is seen was first born in the unseen. Your inner alignment becomes the mold through which the outer world takes shape. You will know you are aligned when peace replaces panic, when trust replaces tension, when your inner conversation begins to echo the same truth as your desired outcome. You won't need to chase, convince, or struggle. You will attract, magnetize, and manifest. People will call you lucky, but you will know that what they see is simply the fruit of what you have believed. The world will marvel at your timing, your synchronicities, your breakthroughs, but you will remember the private moments when you chose to believe, when you sat in silence and imagined a new outcome, when you refused to accept defeat as final, when you stepped into the energy of the answer long before it arrived. And the beauty is, anyone can live this way. You do not need a perfect background, a prestigious education, or external validation to become lucky. You need only begin the sacred work of aligning your inner world with the truth of your divine favor. You need only start believing that you are already blessed, that your life is unfolding with divine precision, that what you seek is already seeking you. This belief must not be passive. It must be lived, breathed, walked, and felt. It must become the air you breathe and the tone of your imagination. And as this belief deepens, so too does your alignment. You move from hoping to knowing, from wishing to embodying, from waiting to receiving. This is how life transforms, not through force, but through faith, not by manipulating the world, but by harmonizing with the unseen laws that govern it. And when that harmony is achieved, when the sound of your inner world matches the rhythm of divine favor, life sings in your favor. What once seemed like coincidence becomes confirmation. What once felt delayed arrives with speed. What once felt out of reach enters your hands with grace. You don't have to wonder how or when, you simply know. You act, speak, walk, and live as if it is already done, because in the realm of spirit, it is. The outer world is only catching up to what you have already become within. And to the outside observer, it will always look like luck. But to you, it will feel like home. To live from the end is to occupy in your mind and emotions the state of already having what you desire. It is a radical departure from the way most people move through life. Most live toward their goals. They wait for the world to change before they feel differently. They measure progress by external signs. But the spiritual truth is this: you are not waiting on life, life is waiting on you. The outer world is simply a mirror, echoing back the assumptions you accept as true. And when you live from the end, you flip the entire structure of experience. You no longer ask, how do I get there? Instead, you dwell in the place where it is already done. You feel it, you taste, imagine it so vividly that the world begins to conform to the inner script you are already living out in your imagination. This approach is not about pretending. It is not about ignoring the present or denying what's in front of you. It's about understanding that the present circumstances are simply the residue of old beliefs and past assumptions. They are not fixed. They are not final. They are not stronger than the creative power that lies within you. When you live from the end, you claim your role as the author of your reality. You are no longer reacting to the world, you are causing it. And every thought, every feeling, every inner conversation becomes a seed planted in the fertile soil of consciousness, destined to sprout in due time. Consider how the world is structured to make you live reactively. You are taught to wait, to prove yourself, to meet conditions. You are told that only one certain criteria are met. Once you have the degree, the job, the relationship, the approval, then you can finally feel successful, loved, happy, or free. But spiritual law invites you to reverse this. Feel the freedom first. Feel the love first. Feel the success first. When you live in the feeling of your desire fulfilled, without contradiction or doubt, you are in alignment with that reality, and the world must catch up. The mind may argue and say, but I don't see it yet. That is where faith begins. You do not live from the end because you see it. You live from the end so that you will see it. The unseen comes first. Always. Every visible result in your life began in the invisible realm of thought and feeling. Nothing is random. Nothing is imposed upon you. Everything is rooted in the state of consciousness you occupy. So if you want to change the outer, you must first inhabit the inner state, where the desire is already fulfilled. That's where power is. That's where transformation begins. To live from the end means you no longer seek permission to believe. You no longer wait for encouragement. You step into the version of yourself who already has it, and you let that version lead. You ask not, can I become this?